He was homeless, then a stranger gave him a chance. You ever meet someone who changes your whole life just by offering you a sandwich? Yeah, that's how my story begins. So picture this, I was homeless, scruffy, and smelled like a foot that had secrets. Not proud of it, but life had me on the ropes. One minute I had a job, a cat named Butterscotch, and a couch. Next minute, I lost all three in a very complicated series of events involving a breakup, a flood, and an extremely judgmental landlord. Anyway, I used to sit near this bakery downtown, not because I was hungry, okay, I was very hungry, but because every morning they'd throw out the burnt croissants. And let me tell you, burnt croissants are still croissants. One rainy Tuesday, I'm curled under my usual bench, trying to convince a pigeon to share his muffin, when a woman walks up to me. She's wearing a bright yellow raincoat and holding what looked like a very expensive sandwich. She looked at me and said, "You look like you could use a warm meal and a second chance." Now I've had people hand me food before, but never a second chance. She told me her name was Carla and she owned the bakery. Turns out she had seen me outside for weeks. Not only did she offer me that magical sandwich, with real roast beef and mustard fancy enough to have a French name, but she offered me a job. In the kitchen, washing dishes. I told her, "Ma'am, I smell like decisions I regret. You sure about this?" She laughed and said, "The dishes don't have noses." Fair enough. The first few days were rough. I accidentally melted a plastic tray in the oven, don't ask. Spilled 40 pounds of flour on myself, looked like a ghost of carbs, and called her mother Sir by mistake. But Carla never once lost patience. After a week, I had a clean uniform. After a month, I had my own tiny room in the back of the bakery. After 3 months, I was baking my first batch of croissants, and they weren't burnt. One morning, she handed me the keys to the bakery and said, "I'm going on vacation, you're in charge." I said, "Carla, I once confused sugar with salt and served evil muffins to a wedding party." She said, "Exactly, you've learned." Now, 2 years later, I'm the manager. I have a cat again, named Butterscotch 2.0. And every morning I still sit on that bench for a few minutes, not because I have to, but to remind myself where I came from. Sometimes I see someone who reminds me of me, and I hand them a sandwich. Roast beef, mustard with the French name, and a little smile. Because sometimes all it takes is a sandwich and a stranger who believes in you.